Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made, built for tough, too beautiful. Murder machines, American angels in the sky, groan and cry. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex. Right by my side, there's ZZ Top and Robert Zadar, the maniac cop 1, 2, and 3. This barbecue could bring you to your knees, and so cool these two trucks. Two trucks holding hands. Two trucks holding hands. The passion is more than I can withstand. Two trucks holding hands. Two trucks holding hands. The passion, my big fat heart expands. Two pickup trucks, one cylinder block, crush my body like a rock, so beautiful. No stars tonight, just fireworks and eagles in the sky. The founding fathers cry. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex. Yeah. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex.
みんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモ打ち負けたへこたれた力なさに絶望を感じた。は拗ねてみた落ち込んだ悔しくなってとことん泣いてみた。カモン考えた寝転んだ空見て落ち着きを取り戻した。眺めてた目に入れた空に浮かぶ月が眩しかった。でかくした育んだ大きな綺麗な星にした。よゲラ頑張った努力したありったけの力を出し切った。よ危機感を感じ立ち上がる。心の壁を取り払い自由なマインドと溢れるソウルスピリットを心に宿した力を当てて頑張れる。みんなで一つのことを成し遂げるためにお互いを褒めたたいた。今までより一回り大きくなった。ネガティブな話題を口にするな。辛くても進むことをやめるんじゃない。ピースなバイブレーションでアートを描きこのアースに負けないオブジェを作れ。チゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこい。イエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこい。カモ
Oh, yeah. Woo! Hi. I have arrived. I am here, fashionably late as always. Always late, starting my own streams. You know how it is. How's it going? Oh, I just tried to adjust my camera a little bit and it decided to make me all blurry. Hello? You don't want to focus on my little face? You don't want to focus on my cute little face? Hello, hello? Hello? I'm right here. Man. Well, this is a blurry stream. It's this cool new thing. It's gonna be the latest craze. Everyone loves this. Well, focus on my face, please. I'm right here. I'm here. Don't you see me? I shine my light very bright into my own eyes. I blind myself. Okay, goodbye. I'm gone now. I'm the where you get this dark square. Still doesn't want to focus on my face. Why is it doing this? You were working fine a minute ago, you silly webcam. It's just not feeling it. I wonder if it'll be happier if I turn off my light and make my background darker. I'm gonna turn on this light in the background, and I'm gonna turn off my main lights. Make my room all dark. Now, is it better? Is it happier this way? Is this nice? Is this good? Are we gonna have some dark vibes today? See, now my face is very bright. Well, I didn't expect to be troubleshooting my webcam for the first couple minutes of the stream. Life's full of surprises, isn't it? Now my glasses are dirty. Why are my glasses always dirty? Why are glasses like that? Am I cute without my glasses? I can't see a thing. I cannot see. Woo! So yeah, how's life? Everyone having a good weekend? You like my purple hair? I dyed it last weekend. It's very purple. This dye is supposed to be blue, but it fades to purple really quickly. I do like it. It's gonna fade to pink later, and I like pink hair. Pink hair is good for me. I like having pink hair. Okay, well, it's too dark in here. I don't like having all my lights off. I don't know. I should probably like get some more lights in my room, put some string lights up or something, so I don't have to have like my whole room lit up. It's like it feels too bright to have all the lights on, but it feels too dark to have them off and just have my little lamp on in the background. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, I guess we'll boot up some Ace Attorney and play that freaking game. We are playing Trials and Tribulations. We're on episode 3 and we're at the last section of that episode. So we might finish it today. We'll see. It might be an extra long one, and I might have to end my stream, so we might end up spilling over into another stream. I don't know. Oh, one thing I wanted to do was put on my own stream in the background so I could check my own audio balance. Let's see. Well, it's hard to tell because this is... Oh! Hello!
Hello Regan, sticker Andy making a friend watch Shabbat Curry Horror Movie before we 10 man.
Damn, it's been 12? Why did I almost say 12 instead of 10? Something's wrong with my brain. But, wow, hi, I'm sorry you can't stick around, but like, a bad furry horror movie, that sounds awesome. Have fun. And 10 is close to 12, you know, like, you're right, I mean, if you take 12 and you round it down, you get 10, right? So... Wow. This year has gone by way too fast. I'm like, it feels like it's gone by unusually fast. Every year feels like it goes by fast, but this year, somehow, it's been, like, freaky. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, I hope your movie is good, and, yeah, thank you for stopping by, and for the 10-month subscription. That's wild. That is no small thing there. Woo! Okay. Might turn the game down a tiny bit. I think it's good. I think we're okay. Alright. Let's play this silly game. Part 4-2 of Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. So we are playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout, Part 4-2. That's what we're doing today. So, yeah, let's do that. We're gonna see if we can solve this case and bring justice to the bad guy and all that. Solve the freaking murder. And help prove the innocence of our friend who used to be a cop and then became a waitress and then got accused of murder. So we're gonna help her out. And here's my oh yeah, we're getting the tiger, a member of the mafia, on the stand. And I'm gonna take a sip of my delicious overpriced coffee beverage, having my first peppermint mocha of the season. I love peppermint mocha. I almost finished this, but I like peppermint mocha. Anyway. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. I need to adjust my monitor. It's like out of alignment somehow. Come on. Well then this is gonna push my monitor that has my webcam on it. Been streaming for what, a year and a half now? More than a year and a half. Coming up on 2 years of being a streamer now. So yeah, I'm like a pro. Yeah. Did I read that? I don't even know. something we're solving this case. I wish I could agree. Huh? When cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago when I last streamed this. But just now in the timeline of the game. When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. the doe picked up on it, remember? Pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. Excuse me, my dog is here. Dexter. He's come to chill on my bed. Hey Dexter, that's a good dog. You just want to be on my bed? Will you be mad if I close my door? I'm gonna go close my door, okay? Dog moment. It's too bad that I'm blocking him from the camera, so we don't have a dog cam. I should just like leave. You don't need to see me. It's about Dexter now. You think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. Hold on. This is important. Dog. Dog cam. He's not doing anything interesting, he's just sleeping. He's sad because no one's paying attention to him and it's getting close to supper time. Okay, that's enough. That's enough dog cam. There. Okay, I need to get the game back up. I'm like so distracted. We'll get into it. We'll get into the game. Oh, we're just getting started. I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence that we're going to need. Ooh, my controller vibrated. With the force of Gumshoe showing up. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe! Damn, boy, you made my controller vibrate.
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Damn! Hey, that's a pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
Yangy. It's not a top knot.
Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? Damn. I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. He's restless. Yelling and shouting because there is nothing to do. I need enrichment. Please put more enrichment in this man's enclosure. Goddamn. No kidding. My controller won't stop vibrating. Oh, bye, Dexter. He's leaving. I have to go close my door again. Okay. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. What?
But Nick, you still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? I'm getting distracted by my phone. I want to pull up my little stream manager thing on my phone. There it is. I thought I had it pulled up already. Okay, so you get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour. Controller won't stop vibrating. This man is vibrating me. Bro, okay. There. You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Oh no, I have to, well, that's convenient. A little ear medicine bottle down covered in unidentified fingerprints. Here you go. Take that! Take that! Take it! Here you go! Take it. Take it. My iced peppermint mocha is mostly ice now. Schlurp. Well, if you're going back to the station anyway, did you find out whose prints are on this? Hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. I'm like not in the mood to do this man's voice.
Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe.
Ugh, my controller is still vibrating. Bro, how are you doing that?
Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
Okay, I'll do my best. Bye.
This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
Fade to black. Okay, Maya, thanks.
January 8th, 1:56 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 4.
All of the near-identical brown-haired white dudes in the court are talking amongst themselves. I shouldn't say white, light-skinned. let's... Anyway.
Court will now reconvene, Mr. Cadeau. Did you find this Muriel Tigre?
I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. I love this weirdo. I love this little freak. Oh, man. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. Okay, so did you tame him or not?
Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand.
There he is! He's so red. Mr. Tomato Man.
Witness, I didn't have time to read that.
He really just roared like a tiger and vibrated my controller. Grarg. Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too. What do you say to me? This is the most Italian man in the world. This is the most Italian-American man you've ever seen. Have you ever seen someone so Italian-American?
Nothing, I didn't say nothing. You're honest.
Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? Who the hell called me into this hole? Making a tiger snarl noise that sounds like it's coming out of a Wii remote. So crunchy. I love it.
the Wii Remote Tiger Truck. Was you Spiky? No, of course not. It was... Yo, look at the judge's sick gamer chair. He's gone. This is great. Wow. Your Honor? Takes a lot to scare the judge away. I mean, like, until now, that's kind of wild. Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Well, where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. Doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? You think you're a big tough tiger man? Well, hold on a second. You think you're the only big tough tiger man in here? Check this out. I got a tiger. You're not the only one who's a big scary tiger. I got a big scary tiger. Look at that. You see this? That's a tiger. Rawr. That's a whole tiger right there. She's gonna eat you. Scary. Be afraid. And you check this out. Big tiger. And she's on our side. Her name is Topaz. And yeah. We got a tiger. Be afraid. Don't mess with us. All right. Back in my seat here. Okay, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Grr. Too cool. Man, I'm gonna drink some more water. As much as I'm enjoying my fancy little coffee drink, still gotta have some water. How can I go up against this guy? He's so cool and cool and like and sexy and
Don't let him get the better of you.
calling from under the table. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, Master Boy. Wow, I didn't mean to hit that. Mask Boy. Did my webcam just decide not to focus on me anymore? Again? Like a nice webcam.
but it doesn't like focusing on my face. Or it focuses on my face for a while and then it decides to stop. It decides it's time for me to be blurry. Hey, Phoenix, you take over. It's focusing on him. A little bit washed out. My light might be a bit too bright, or maybe I should change it to a warmer setting. Maybe that's the move. That's like, this is light, and then there's like in between, and then warm. About no stinking incident. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie, you? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then? Maybe, if that's okay with you. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder, please. Phoenix Wright. Yeah? You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You was gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. Hear what I'm saying? Gulp. Damn, Phoenix, okay. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick! You're under the table, girl. You telling me to get a grip? Everyone is so scared of this funny tomato man. The tiger's alibi. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. December? Why did they keep saying December last year? It's like the beginning of January. December last year was like a week ago. They're not talking about something that happened a year ago, right? They're talking about something that happened a month ago. Pretty sure, unless I'm remembering wrong. But I'm pretty sure they're talking about something that happened like a month ago. Like, let me look at the court record. Like, do I have anything showing? Is it? December 3rd was the day of the incident. And now it's what, like January? It was January 6th or 8th or something. Saw at the beginning of this section. So I'm pretty sure we're talking about something that happened a month ago. And they're like, yeah, December last year. That was last month. I'm pretty sure we're talking about something that happened last month in the time of the game. But anyway, spent all of my time in my office. A whale is lined up to borrow cash from Denderlander every single day. I don't know what my voice is doing now. Who's going to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Okay, well, where is she? Can she testify as well? Yes, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. May your cross-examination. Rawr. Arg. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain shouting out like that, making noises like it's coming from a Wii remote speaker. Terrifying. How do you do that with your mouth? I know the kind of games that guy in blue plays. Games like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for the Game Boy, and then or for the DS that was originally for the Game Boy in the original Japanese, but then when it was localized to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, it was released through the DS.
That lowlife ain't no lawyer. Just bunches away at stupid details till he wins. And they're on to me. Oh no. Lowlife? Me? Little old me? Calling me a lowlife? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me to do something that doesn't relate to this case, I don't know what I'm doing. My voice isn't very happy. I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. Okay? That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you dangle with the tiger. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really... No, what is going on here? This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours, too. Yeah, he's like a tiger roaming around in the city, lost and confused and scared and probably gonna get shot. Very well, I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Aw, damn. But irrelevant pressing is my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite strat. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick! Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? The tiger's freaking alibi. Whoa. Okay, I'm actually gonna save here. Save here. Excuse me. Right up with business. Keep that in mind. Every single day. Just ask Violetta. Well... I might... This evidence, yeah, okay, no, okay. I'm sure I'll have to bring that up later. You don't know nothing about no Moida? What do I have, though, other than that? No, I didn't mean to do that. 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 I did that by mistake. I pressed the wrong button. Be nice to me. Okay. Need to make sure not to press that button, because that is the present button. I don't want to press the present button. So I've got a lot on this guy, I just need to know when to bring it up. It's like he impersonated Phoenix in the last trial. I know it was him. I've got his fake badge and everything. Got his connection to the owner of the owner of the restaurant.
got his connection to the victim right here. There's the paper badge. Oh, and there's this as well. There's the MC bomber that was found at the Tenderlender. There's that too. I'm distracted by my phone. And there's the tiger. There's the Cadaverini guy. Grandpa Bruto. And there's Viola Cadaverini. I'm gonna try pressing this. By Violetta, you're talking about the Cadaverini families? Yeah. Wanna cross them? Who's gonna wind up sleeping with the fishes? Once the godfather finds out you's been dragging Violetta through the mud, he'll do you in. Sorry, I couldn't quite put it all together towards the end there. He said that just like Viola, didn't he? I get the feeling this might not be the best time to... Might not be the right... Well, if you think it might not be the right time, then I'm gonna leave it. Too dangerous to press things without knowing where they might end up. Or just focus on gathering information at the moment. Oh, Mr. T. Gray, Revere doesn't want you from the beginning. Yeah. Are you sure you don't know nothing about no murder? You were tied up with business? Well, maybe I'll press you on being tied up with business. Sure about that? We were talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. Well, that's where you were mainly. Very broad. Seems like a rather sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Perhaps I will press harder. Because I got that calendar. Mr. Tigray, what you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. What do you mean, objection? This is a dead end, trite, and you know it. Remember the rules. Objection. I have evidence. Essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. Agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day, too? Maybe using listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. Meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before, are you sure? I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Pinot, if you could, please... Mr. Tigray, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. That sure is a combination of words you just said there, Phoenix. Freaking animal. Are you sure? Well, actually, I'm gonna save here, because I'm on a good path there, I guess. Are you sure you've never seen that kid before? Because I have his funny little horsey calendar right here. Mr. Tigray? You claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg. But it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What?
Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. Bam. So, Mr. Tiger, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Gra ha 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 ha. You're not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. His big, sharp, scary teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You was calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Oh, Judge. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? You never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy.
Okay.
Oh wow, we got a new testimony here. The victim, Glen Elg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. Set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. Ain't never even been to that très bien joint you's here.
You sure about that, sir?
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? Oh, hi. Am I winning? I think so. Oh, well, I'm not winning because my webcam decides to keep making me blurry. It's just, it doesn't want to stay focused. Oh, you have redeemed, put the ears on. You have redeemed my special little point redeem of put the ears on. Putting the ears on. I need to adjust so you can see them and they're not cut off by the camera. We've put the ears on. Hang on, do I want to put them back here? There's the ears. I think that works. Now if my webcam would just focus. There's the ears. We got the ears on. I will keep those on for a while. At least until I get annoyed with them. Oh, I do like the ears. Anyway. I'm adjusting this monitor again. Stay there. Is that a good position? Oh, and you would like to meet a little guy as well? Okay, well, we already met one earlier that you missed. I brought my tiger here because we're facing the tiger, and I wanted to show him we've got a tiger too. He's not the only one with a tiger on his side. We've got a tiger on our side. Her name is Topaz. And I also have my little phoenix here. He is allied with the tiger. But we already saw those two on the stream, so let me get another little guy for us. Let's get another little guy. Who have I got? Who are we gonna see? Oh, hey! I have yet another tiger here. I have yet another tiger that we can look at. Got a tiger from Kung Fu Panda. Tigress. Because one day I decided I wanted a McDonald's Happy Meal, and so I impulse bought a McDonald's Happy Meal. And this is the Happy Meal toy that I got. Tigress from Kung Fu Panda. She's a little bit flat and doesn't have a very high quality paint job. But you know, it's a Happy Meal toy. Just a random little Happy Meal toy that I got. So, not bad. And she came in like a little case that's like her head. It was a really interesting unboxing experience there. But yeah, there's another little guy. That's Tigress. we got a whole tiger theme going with Tigress from Kung Fu Panda and my own old tigress whose name is Topaz. She's one of my childhood plushies. She was for a while she was the girlfriend of one of my favorites who was a cheetah named Spotty. So yeah. We've got a whole tiger theme there. All right. And then I've got my wolf ears. So it's a whole zoo in here. Woo! I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. Well, damn, bro, you must have some good public transit there. Oh, and I still don't have a lurk command. I apologize for that, but thank you for lurking. I do appreciate you hanging around. Yeah. This guy just wants to charge me money. Bill's going straight to you, right? Grr. The victim, Glenelg. Alright, let's do a save here for this little cross-examination section. Excuse me. We never met some guy who wanted to borrow cash. Set up a meeting with them at your office. Waited around, but he ain't ever showed. Never been to that Tribune joint. Well, are you sure? Because I did find some matches at your place. Do I press this? I'm gonna try pressing this. Never. Not even once. Not even once. I was in my office the day that went down. Didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee, capiche? You think he really didn't meet Glenelg? Not likely. I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing. I mean, okay, so there was nothing else to do there? Okay, of course. Can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. Gotta nail him while I still can. Maybe I should have tried presenting them? Are you sure? Because I got... Okay, here. Found in the thing. Mr. Tigray, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlender. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Trebian before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? I didn't mean to press that. Who's been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no bra. Sir, what? No, I'm not your wife. No, sir, we are not married. No, sir, I am not your stereotypical heterosexual wife. Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? I'm sorry, I'm terribly sorry, please forgive me. I ain't no pussy. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. Yeah, but okay, was that the truth? I don't go back on what I said, except when I do. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. Damn, I'm kind of breezing through this while because I'm not pressing everything like I normally do. Okay. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenelg that day. He did put poison in his coffee. He must have. At Trebian, got a whole nother testimony already. Really goes by fast when I don't take the time to press every little thing. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. It was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. Heard the cops' sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. And why was that CD at your office? I see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Bro, you shouldn't have the power to do that. Mr. Gateau, that's my job. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. Special Express ain't cheap, right? It's just so yous know since yous payin'. Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? At Trebian. I'm gonna take these ears off now. Redeem another 1,000 channel points if you want me to put them back on. I do enjoy wearing those funny little ears, but oh, excuse me. I feel like they're a bit distracting at the same time, you know? Supposed to meet with the kid. Opened the door and saw one ugly scene. Stiff as concrete. And you split. And you went straight back to your office. Alright, let's... evidence. I've got the sports paper and the magazine listing and the scooter. And... this thing. Wait a minute. Is that a crime photo? There's the floor plans. Okay. I wanted to see if there was like, if this was there with the dead body, because that would be something. I'm gonna press this and see what happens. You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty or nothing? What? We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Damn boy, you swallow? No! Oh, why did you do that to me, video game? Oh, goodness. Courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it? Damn boy, you swallow! Damn boy, you gulp that coffee? No. Well, actually, I'm going to load my save. You can't get me, I have saves. Like, what do you arrive? Okay, no. Come on, Phoenix. But it's irrelevant. I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty. Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney. Action. Sir, what? Okay, well, anyway. Wait, what? Did I just save over that? Oh my god. I just saved instead of loading. Oh well, that's fine. I can take that. Fine. The guy was laid out over the table. Well, how about I press on that? You mean you saw his dead body? I guess I did. I only saw him from behind. Wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat. And what time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches! Watches! Bro, get yourself an Apple Watch. Those are square. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some chicken and pecker. An interest, Mr. Tigre. What winds you up the second most? Judge, are we playing 20 questions now? What do you think? Square! Well, alright, okay, that's No eye watch for you, I guess. Is this guy for real? Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down in that place. Alright. Do I press on this? You didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then? Tiger's a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. Ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So, when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. My detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home. Oh, what are you doing with those matches? Poor Gumshoe. Almost enough to make a man cry. Yeah, so we're just going with that. We're saying this guy just like grabbed a book of matches. He was like, oh damn, there's a murder scene here. Well, I better grab some matches and leave. Better get out of here. But first, free matches. Free matches though. Let's save here. I'm gonna press on this and see if that does anything. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tenderlander at all then? That kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you ever seen if there are any issues. Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come? So that's why you decided to meet at Très Bien? Huh. You're going over old ground again, trite. Sorry. Oh, you're giving me a penalty. Oop. You just earned yourself a penalty. Now suck it down. You will suck down the penalty, Mr. White, and you will like it. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Okay, my save, but that was fun. That was fun. I'm glad I got to see that. That was... Oh boy. Okay. So I think I tried pressing everything. Straight back to your office. No. I ought to be able to present that at some point. Present it here. No. Alright, what specific thing am I supposed to present here? Wait. I think I got it. Got it. You couldn't see it from the door. Duh. Couldn't see it from the door. You couldn't have opened the door and seen the ugly scene because you couldn't see it from the door. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. Okay, Phoenix. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, straight? Straight? I think not. A new line of irrelevant questioning. These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed. This would have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
No. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head.
No. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why? That's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. You see that? You see it? Oh, he angry. Oh. That's a good face. That's a good angry face. So, from the entrance of Trebier, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him.
Objection!
Oh, what are you objecting about? Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection.
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Elg, but a fake. Yeah, I don't remember how that whole thing worked. That was very convoluted. I love this game. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim?
Well,
You say the killer was the killer. You say the killer murdered Glen Elg. The killer was the murderer who murdered. He was the killer. He was the killer and he killed and murdered. And then impersonated his victim in a performance from Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court.
well,
I think it was him. If it wasn't him, I'm going to be surprised. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was her. I don't freaking know. Was it him? Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger's king of the jungle. Dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. I need to see. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness, that It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Remember, Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. I'm having fun. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot! Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, 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 no.
The serving girl brought in my cappuccino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put poison into the coffee.
No, he didn't.
Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee.
Jackson!
Very, very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh. Found your pen at last, trite? It was in my pocket. But anyway,
Kudo witnessed two people that day.
saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? There's another imposter among us? Two imposters! The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? I'm getting... My little blue light filter has turned on. 5 o'clock and the sun's setting. Because daylight savings is over. Ooh. Okay, turn that off. Okay. Who on earth? Well, actually, maybe I should have saved there, but anyway, it must have been her, right? Take that! Take that! Who is this woman? I mean, who? Is Goth GF? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlander. Who's making a big mistake? You know who Violetta's grandfather is? No, I mean, if you could, like, get her name right, maybe that might be a good idea. Am I blurry again? Hello? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. My controller vibrated. Stop shaking, Nick. You're making the controller vibrate. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. When I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of a cackling laugh. Damn, I totally forgot. I totally forgot that Viola was also there. Yeah. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. Earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime. Is you. Is you. I don't know what I just did there. Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He was alright. I could do with a guy like you around. Well, what do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? Who's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. Damn, okay. I couldn't have poisoned him, you see it? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? Huh. What a troublemaker. Man, I love this dude. The troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. Gulp. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Oh, I love this freak. I love you, Godot. Indeed, witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trebian between yourself and the victim? Nice to the victim. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I loaned out cash. About $100,000. That day we was due to have a little chat. Kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy, and then he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. Got lucky, you know. Real lucky. That waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Hug was $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. Loans are like that. They really are. The repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. That $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. If I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. Motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Ooh, okay. Oh, excuse me. What have I got? I still have this. The yummy lunch.
sure. She had left. We already knew that. Okay, well. Talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet. Damn. You was telling me you wasn't even gonna pay for the coffee?
Certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Elm.
That guy was smooth, I tell you, was real smooth. I'll have your money in less than 5 minutes, that's what he says to me. Guy then calls me the tender tiger. Skating on thin ice with me. I'm gonna say the next slot, just... No, I didn't think so. I didn't think it was time for that yet. Load, yes. I'm getting a little bit tired. My brain. Yeah, one, I'm a million bucks. And if that waitress hadn't, everything would have been over. I'm gonna press this. The waitress, you mean the girl in the defendant's chair. Who else would I mean? She ain't on the way. Things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask how things would have been. What do you mean? What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Who's all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my 100,000 bucks back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It's all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Yes, you will amend your testimony.
Ooh, we got an amendment to the testimony. Ooh. I'm gonna stretch. Got my iced peppermint mocha that's mostly ice now, but it's melting. Mostly water. I guess I will save again. And I will press further on this. You're saying you had no other motives that day? Yeah, so what?
Then why didn't you take the lottery ticket when you left?
Interesting that you would ask that question.
Why do you think? There's a Four Eyes over there.
Because of Maggie?
How about you go ask Four Eyes about that $500,000 ticket? He wanted it so bad. She poisoned El's coffee.
Likely theory. Your word hasn't held water lately, Mr. Tigre.
Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, trite.
Well, I don't exactly agree with some of the details I sent down. Blah.
Some of the deals he sent down.
I wouldn't be there when the cops showed up, so I split.
I couldn't be there when I'm like not. I'm not reading things right, man. Couldn't be there when the cops showed up, so I split.
I see.
It's like just admitting in court that he's a criminal.
Your Honor, the witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony, or would you like it amended? Can you amend the testimony? I'm not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended. Kind of weird that you would ask my opinion on that. That's, like, not how you usually do it. Amend your testimony, please. What if I press this again? I was trying to pin the crime on Maggie. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? We're talking about the cash. We're just gonna go over this again. Waitress got in the way. Motive. We went through this song and dance already. What? Did I load my save instead of saving it, or...? I'm confused. Finally, it was time to present that. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, and oh, that's my right. Whatever. Unfortunately for you, and unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I really want to keep playing this, but my brain is winding down. I really want to see this to the end if I can. I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. What are you getting at, trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Well, how about more money? Oh, the moneylender was after money. But money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called NC Bomber. What on earth is a computer virus? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. Judge, we've all had a long day today. I cannot be explaining to you what a computer is. I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. Got a real Stone Age beard there. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. Glen Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Yeah, exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? Godot, I love you. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. What if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. Damn, Phoenix, you're like spitting some truth there. Seems you may have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us?
I don't know, maybe.
Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million?
Well, there's this guy's got debt, and, well, there's also, this one. There's that one. Up with this. Is that it?
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? Bam! An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. And somehow you got away just fine. You weren't even wearing a helmet according to this picture, but okay. No protection at all. Hit straight on the car. And the girl's the one who nearly died. The driver. Alright. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million? Oh, preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. I don't know what HMO is. Okay. No one would pay a bill like that. The medical association got wind of it. The hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, as his very life depended on it. Rarg. You could say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? What? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Yeah. Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city. And doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened. He can't, and neither can I. Lottery win. Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. It's crazy. He murdered Glen Elg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. That guy. Remember him? Witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. Well, maybe he was in on it? Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $1 million, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. The drama. Order, silence, or I will Gra ha 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 ha. You put on a good show, Spiky. You want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. My really cool shirt. That is a cool shirt, you know? That's a pretty cool shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. Are you sure? I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. A trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? Oh, what was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? I really hope I'm presenting the right thing. I can't save right now. Do I want to present this or the fake lawyer badge? Or does either one work? I'm gonna try this. Is that it? Why are you shaking your head? Did I get the wrong thing? No. Hey man, are you okay? And? What's the relevance of that, Trite? It's just a little intro. An intro into what? Bro, please, come on. No, come on. Wait, please, man, come on. Ugh, no. Okay, whatever. This. Bro, come on, that should have counted. I should have been able to present that. Whatever. What on earth is that? What insult to think that anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Oh yeah? Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. What? The witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Bro. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? Damn. No doubt it was you. Standing in here this very court a mere month ago. Thank you, Judge, for being smart for once. Phoenix Wright, who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Got him! Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Hey. Oh, that's cute. It's hair. Yeah, forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me, not little me. Look at me. I'm not a big scary tiger. I'm just a poor little meow meow, you know. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? What a thing to say. This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. If the defense has no further evidence, court will now excuse the witness. Damn, okay, I'm gonna save here. Circumstances are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. Oh, but we've come so far! You say he impersonated Glen Elg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. Hey Gumshoe, now would be a good time for you to come in with those fingerprints. Now would be a really good time. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Yarg. I mean, yeah, that's true, actually. Oop. Hey. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger. We remote tiger growl. Well, you're gonna get mauled. You's got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. It was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. Just had one more piece of evidence. Gumshoe, please. Gumshoe, please. Come on, come through, boy. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. The witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. Oh, well, damn. Damn, okay. Are you sure about that? Hold it! Hold it! Your Honor, sir. Ah, he's so cute. Ah, look at him. Look at him with his cute little package. Big smile. Look at this dude. Detective Gumshoe. Sorry I took so long, pal. Now I staked everything on this. My badge, no, works. Oh, here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? I've been doing too many different voices. I can't get back to my Gumshoe voice. Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final, decisive piece of evidence. I can't find his voice again. Excuse me. Huh? Huh? Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. Wait, when did we get out here? The results? Got the prints, pal, in this medicine bottle. Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. Oh, tell us. They're the tigers, right? Right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right? It's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? Whoa, why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenelg's coffee. Already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle really doesn't make any difference now. Oopsie. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Bro, we told you to do that bottle. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie. I've been working on some useless piece of evidence this whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. Breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. She worked so hard to get that evidence. Only there was some way I could use it. Small bottle, put into pocket. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I grant you a recess so we can prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Oh, us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Phoenix, don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. Much more of my time are you's gonna waste. Ain't been to no court before. Those lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. White. Mr. White? Mr. White? That's not his name. Oh, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. Maybe if he thinks he's got me beat. Like now might be a good time for a save. Uh-oh. Let his guard down for a bit. Maybe. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. Well, okay, I mean, it's interesting and it's giving me this chance to choose what to present, and there's so much writing on it. I'm gonna take a throat lozenge. No, I ripped the packaging. Now how will I read the little motivational things on it? Rip the wrapper. Be unstoppable. Get through it. Don't wait to get started. Impressionnez-vous aujourd'hui. Ne gaspillez pas une seule minute. Ne vous laissez pas tomber. I mean, I guess I'll present this. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. What? Yeah, that's the victim's ear medicine. Naturally, the court's already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigray. What? But Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? I don't know. Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle, that gay little bottle, that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? Oh, you want the ears back on? Okay. The ears are going back on for our dramatic finale. And I will hydrate, and I will posture check. Thank you, thank you. Bro, are we about to lie in court? Is that what's happening here? phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Bro, no, don't lie in court, you dumbass. Mr. Tigray, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... I mean, I don't want to lie. I just saved, so I can always try different options. I can always load the save and try. As we all know, this bottle contains the medicine. What are you doing, Nick? What did you just tell Gumshoe and I? What did you just tell Gumshoe and me? Because you would say, what did you just tell me? You wouldn't say, what did you just tell I? I'm gonna move these. Hang on. Reposition my funny ears. You said the facts are no difference now, blah blah blah. Okay, let me load. I load the save. Alright, let's just freaking lie. Let's just lie and say it has the poison in it. Sure, I love lying in court. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. L, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigray, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? Ha 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 ha. You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me laugh now. Who think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? Oh, so are you saying you know what the bottle used in the murder looks like, and you know that it's not this one? Is that what you're saying? A bluff? What are you talking about? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash. Don't look nothing like it. I would never use such a shitty little bottle to poison my enemies. Got him at last. What? Why is everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. Yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. He's like a gamer or something. This is like a video game or something, you know? Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. You really had nothing to do with the murder. You shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You just don't know who you was messing with. I'm the tiger. I can throw millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm just gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. Damn. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you. The biggest phony of all. Damn, get him. Grrr. Oh, rawr. Damn, he going grar. Oh, wow. Wow. Bro, are you okay? Bro, the screen just went... The screen went completely black. Bro, what's going on? Bro, did you just cause an earthquake and a blackout? I love the blinking eyes in the darkness. Oh, it's so cute. Whoa. Damn, okay. Okay. Well done. Right. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Okay, Wow. Mr. Right, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Oh man, thank you, Judge. Thank you. Thanks for that. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Mr. Glenelg, Your Honor. I don't know why I added Mr. to Glenelg's name when it wasn't there. My nose is itchy. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine dispensatory. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigre is a truly frightening criminal. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Wow, okay. Godot, you think I'm scary? What? Okay, bye. Thank you for coming. Yes, we're having so much fun arresting the tiger dude. Woohoo! Time to get that verdict. Well, I'm now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Woo! So glad I got to see this to the end with my funny little wolf ears on. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Crunching the last little bits of my throat lozenge.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I love this little tune. Cute.
Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him.
It wasn't me, girl.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie.
That was the tiger.
Look, Nick, in the doorway.
Gumshoe? Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. Bye!
Wait. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, well, I was, well, yeah, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Bye! Wait up, detective. Oh, he just ran off.
Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his ass for you. Busted his booty, busted his fat, thick booty just for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly.
Girl, we're the ones who told him to test that bottle. We're the ones who messed up there.
Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. On that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
Got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. The delicious little lunchbox. Take that. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, I actually really like weenies, you know.
That was an interesting sound effect.
Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, the trial dragged on for a bit today, didn't it? It's 6 p.m. in real life right now. And I'm pretty sure my mom got home with supper like half an hour ago.
Oops.
Sure did drag on a bit, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now? So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good.
Maya,
Eating weenies! Woo!
So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. False allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start.
We did it. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. The end. And now we get a flashback episode. This is look at that! Look at that! Oh, we gotta start that next time. Next time I stream this game. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm blurry again. Next time. God damn. Wow. I'm blurry. It... No, I meant to go to here. Okay, good. I'm not blurry anymore. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try to wrap up the stream pretty quickly. I'm not gonna stick around too much longer. But wow, that was that case was a lot. Gotta say, it had some real rough spots, but that last section was really good. That was good. I enjoyed that. That was fun. And yeah, we finally did it. We finally completed episode 3 of Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And oh, the trials and the tribulations of that case. That was a lot. But yeah, that last section was good. I enjoyed it. And I'm excited to get to that next episode, but I don't know how soon I'm gonna start that. I don't know if I'm gonna jump right into it next time I stream, or if I'll plan something else. I will think about it. I'll see. And then next time I stream, that's either going to be Friday or Sunday, depending on how I'm feeling on Friday and how my work week goes and all that. But yeah, we'll see. My next stream going to be either Friday or Sunday, and I'm probably not going to get back to Ace Attorney right away. I'll take at least one stream in between before I start the next episode, and who knows, maybe I'll do something else entirely before we get to that next episode. Maybe we'll take a break. I don't know. The world is open to us. There's a whole world of possibilities. The possibilities are endless. But yeah, that was great. I love Ace Attorney, even if sometimes it hurts me. There were some parts of that case, some bits of writing. But this last section was fun, and I liked it. And yeah. As always, if you want to find me, I've got my funny website here that's got a whole bunch of links. You can find me. Find me there. Got links to my social medias, got a link to my Discord server, my YouTube channel where I post my stream VODs. So, you know, if you want to watch more of me play an Ace Attorney, I've got a backlog there that you can enjoy. And a whole lot of other things. I've got well over a year of streams on that silly YouTube channel now. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'll post more on Discord and Twitter and Tumblr and all that about my stream plans going forward. Actually, yeah, this coming weekend, I don't know what I'll do. Weekend after that is going to be my birthday. So I don't know what I'm doing for that. So like we'll see. Look out for that. Just follow me on social media, join my Discord server. I'll figure out something. But yeah, this stream has gone on long enough. I'm really happy that I got to the end. Excuse me, got to the end of that episode of Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Wow. We did it. And I'm gonna end the stream now because I gotta go eat some dinner. And yeah, I think that's it. Phoenix Wright will return, but maybe not for a few weeks. I don't know. Maybe not for a month. Maybe not for more than a month. Maybe I won't get back to Ace Attorney for a while. But I do plan to stream this entire game, even if it takes me a long time to get through it, even if I take some breaks from it. I do plan to get through this entire game. I just, there are other things that I want to stream, so I think maybe I'll take this opportunity while I'm in between chapters, while I'm in between episodes of the game. Maybe I'll take this opportunity to do other things. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll end up itching to get back to Ace Attorney and I'll get back to it, but whatever happens will happen. And I'll see you next time, okay? Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna sign off now. I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye!